But moving on from that, Drew Picasso, I feel like kind of holds a special place in our heart, innit? Even before like me listening to the Drake song and bringing it back, because that was possibly what the show was going to be called. Do you get me? So I thought in this taste section, why not go through some of the names that we had for the show and then talk about it and be like, oh, why didn't we like this one again? And why did we go for this? And then just take people through actually how we got to Fireside Galleries. Because I feel like everywhere I go, people ask me, oh, why Fireside Galleries? And I break it down to them, then they're like, oh, you know what's that guy's name? Super Hot Fire. No. So I wanted to break it down for the listeners at home. Oh my God, pardon me. I wanted to break it down for the listeners at home, innit?
Yeah.
So that they could kind of understand how we got to Fireside Galleries.
Yeah, that makes sense, yeah.
And the first name that we wrote down was 7 a.m. in the city.
No, we didn't do that, bro. We went away and we made separate lists. You forgetting?
Yeah, but then we combined the lists. Because I'm just reading, because remember, I combined the list. So I've got the whole combined list here.
I've got it as well. What's that called? What folder is that?
It's just called Fireside Galleries.
Bro, 7 a.m. in the city. What did you say? 7 a.m. in the city? No, that's because we just copied your one in, bro. But I get what you're saying. We just copied your list in and I copied my one after. But we made separate lists and then we came together and we talked about which name we thought. But let me tell them the thought process behind the names anyway, because there was a criteria before we went away. So basically, the criteria was basically coming up with a name where you don't know what it means straight away.
Yeah.
Like we didn't want it to just be like a name of like, it says what it does on the tin kind of a thing. Even though kind of it ended up like that, but
it
not
did
on
end up
purpose.
like that.
What we done was we came up with a name and then we built a concept around the name afterwards. But go on.
No, I think you're spitting. So we were 7 a.m. in the city. Why did we not go with that one? Because I personally really like that.
7 a.m. in the city.
It felt like Drizzy vibes, like.
It felt like Drizzy vibes. I think it was because, I think it was because I was like, I don't want us to just be tied down to a city. If we do build a concept around it, I think it was like, oh, I don't want us to now, it's like we have to be in a city kind of, I can't remember what it was, but it was shortlisted, I'm sure.
Yeah, it was shortlisted. No, I've got it here.
It was shortlisted.
It was here, shortlisted. And that's why we also didn't go for Moments in the City, which I really liked as well. That would have been sick. We could have gone for Moments in Nature.
We've gone for Moments in Nature, but I'm glad we didn't.
Yeah, I hear it. No. Our name is cold. I like our name. You know what I'm saying? But Moments in Nature would have been hard.
We didn't write that down, did we?
No, we didn't. I just thought about it now, just off the back of Moments in the City.
Okay. Then we have. Let me fly down to. The Picasso, like the
Drew Picasso.
So we had Drew Picasso. We had game from Picasso. We had Picasso Perspective. We had Drew Masterpiece.
Stash in the Gallery. That's hard.
We had
Observing the Game.
Then I'm gonna fly down to like towards the bottom where this is the list that I sent.
This one.
Yeah. So we had Red Cloud.
No, but even before that, we had some good names like Moment in Place, Never Late is Better.
Where's this?
Project Freely. And then look, bro, we even had a Campfire over there.
Yeah, we had 7 a.m. Campfire. We had 7 a.m. in the gallery. We had Painting in the gallery. We had
all these names deserve an honourable mention.
We do.
Uncloud Your Mirrors.
Come
on.
We had Everyone's an Artist.
Everyone's an Artist.
Yeah, we had Quarter to Who. We had Backdrop Gallery.
Oh. This is where it starts coming together.
Yeah. We had Fireside Gallery and Fireside Galleries.
Yeah.
We had Campfire Gallery and Campfire Galleries.
Yeah. Made in Hue was hard as well.
We had Made in Hue.
Ooh, that's hard.
And then we had Temp Era Views. We had
Into Hue Factory. So we had a good few names. Yeah.
And I think
we had like 30 names, I can't lie.
Yeah, but I think we had a lot of names.
We had like 30 names.
Over the process, we came to Fireside Galleries.
Yeah.
And then after we came up with the name, we then started thinking about what could that show be about.
Yeah.
Which is kind of funny because we weren't trying to make it about what it does in the tin, but then we ended up doing what.
Yeah, but people still don't understand it because there's a deeper layer to what Fireside Galleries is.
Yeah.
So as we've now landed at Fireside Galleries, I think it's important to talk about what that deeper layer is. And it comes from, I know we always talk about it at the beginning of the show, but I think this will be a good time to actually dive deep into it. Because my understanding might be a little bit different from yours actually, but I'm gonna start and then we'll take it from there, innit?
Oh yeah,
are you ready? Man? Yeah, man, let me get you on some tea.
Thank you, bro.
Let me show you how it's done over here, man.
Thank you very much.
That's how it's done, you know? That's done.
Thank you very much.
Remember to like and subscribe.
So Fireside Galleries, yeah, the reason we did this show was to promote creativity. Yeah. Like we always say, we want people to break free of that hustle and bustle, I need to make money. And even though, like, guys, if you watch the show, you know that we get caught in that sometimes as well. And then we're always talking bread, etc. But like, there's nothing wrong with bonding with your friends over bread and making money together. There's nothing wrong, but still breaking free of that and doing creative things with your friends, with your families, by yourself. And naming it Fireside Galleries, if we start with the fireside part, which is fire, part of nature, etc., I believe that a lot of creativity comes from nature. Does that make sense? It's an amazing place to be inspired, and creativity and inspiration go hand in hand. You get me? So it's an amazing place to be inspired, and that's why you see us in nature when we are shooting stuff, etc. All the different places that we go. That's why we shoot outside. And the galleries comes from our love of art, and not just art as in art that people draw, which you've seen us drawing, but artists, food, like conventional art, music, food, etc., which we're going to branch out to. And that is why we always choose like nice backgrounds, etc., because those are our galleries, if that makes sense. So that's what Fireside Galleries means to me. So it's just a combination of creativity, art, nature, and breaking free of that hustle and bustle that things give you. And if you see us in the city sometimes, don't say, oh, you guys are not in nature. If you see us inside, because sometimes it's about, if you look closely, you'll see what we're doing. Maybe it's even this art right here, or it's the architecture, because that's also art. So
Episode 2 was literally the architecture, like where we were, the rooftop.
Exactly. So it's not just about like us in nature. Yes, I understand that, but it's just about our galleries that we want to show you, and the creativity that hopefully in the next few episodes we're going to start pushing more and more boundaries on creativity and what we can do. That's what it means. I
think you hit the nail on the head, man.
Said I covered it, yeah?
You covered it. Fireside Galleries. I like the point you made about nature, because even when you're talking about like nature as a gallery, and nature sparks creativity, I feel like even thinking about nature itself, nature is God's gallery. Do you get what I'm trying to say? God designed that. That's God's creativity there for us, and I think that's why it's so easy for us. It's like a never-ending source of inspiration, because it's coming from a never-ending source. If that makes sense. I think I'm preaching. Hold on.
Yeah, you're going ham.
Sorry guys. But do you know what I'm saying though? So like, when you said that, I just thought about that when you were talking. So it makes sense. That's
hard.
All right, cool.
Shout out God.
Hey, that's our lead sponsor. Lead sponsor.
That's hard.
Lead sponsor.
That's hard.
Yeah.